Madam Joyce has done it again. At this point, I think we have to collectively come together and make sure that this woman never have access to any kind of microphone or any kind of device that she can use to record, because this is starting to get out of hand. Because you see, I live under a rock, right? And there's so many things that happen that I don't get to hear about because I live under this mofo rock, right? But I always get to hear about this woman under this rock I live under, and that is because she always be doing and saying things that she should not have been doing and saying. The take she took about Lagos girls this past December here, the ground is still wet. They never fit judge that matter finish. Now she has carried her two left leg to go and miss yarn about Kendrick's halftime Superbowl performance. And now she has gotten everybody pissed again for the upteenth time.
Now, I love Kendrick. I love the fact that being a hater can end up being a success. But this performance, I just thought it was really mediocre for me. Maybe because I'm not a hardcore Kendrick fan. There was a lot of the songs that I didn't know. I knew some of the mainstream ones. Like when Scissor came, I was like, yes, twin. The rest of them, I don't know. I thought the visuals was amazing. We had Samuel Jackson come on as Uncle Tom, and then obviously the dancers came and the American flag, and then obviously he performed They're Not Like Us. I just thought it was an okay performance. There are a lot of people on the internet who are like, oh my god, you just didn't understand. One thing I cannot stand is fake deepness. I come to watch the Super Bowl to watch a performance. I didn't come to think. I don't want to feel like I'm reading a book. So when I'm seeing, oh, but you did not understand the allegoric significance of when the dancers were wearing blue, and the blue means it signifies the sadness of the American like, I just want to dance. I don't want to watch a performance and then have to read a book to understand what the performance was about, okay?
Madam Joyce Zukwanike, Biko Abeg, stay in one place, because what the F is this take? I want to open my commentary by pleading with you guys, please do not paint the rest of us Africans or the rest of Black British people with this brush. I promise you, we are not all this ignorant. And it's just so appalling how she confidently came on this platform to tell the entire world basically that she cannot get entertained and use her brain to think critically at the same time. What level of brain rot is this? Kendrick's performance highlighted the issues that we have in our present climate. It's a performance that encourages and preaches solidarity and unity. And not only that, the show was also entertaining. Entertainment was also highlighted amongst these other things. But because she could not understand the lyrics of the song, because she could not connect the dots and see how all of these things are important and should be highlighted, she said it was mediocre, like Kuku Kimi.
There are just some people that in this life, I don't think they have ever had a bright thought or idea in their life. If I'm being very honest, I don't think they've had a thought before. Or if they have, it has always been more evidence that they are actually not really thinking. Every time they try to speak, it never sounds like their brain and mouth have ever found harmony. And it's funny because some of these people have very big platforms with a lot of listeners, subscribers, watchers, audiences, where they go on to spew the most thoughtless things about topics that they are very uneducated about. But because everyone is talking about it, they want to jump on the trend too, forgetting that they do not have the skill or mental range to handle it. Which is even worse because some of them know they do not have the skill range to handle such discussions, but they still engage in it, but they want to be different. So they're going to say very stupid, off-putting things. Like for example, you're witnessing a history-altering event that is not just entertaining, but is beyond entertaining. It is necessary, considering the amount of discourses that that event has brought up. But because one, you feel like the discussions that are stemming from this event are not your business, which mind you, in some way, shape or form, they still are. And because you do not have the brain power to dissect issues beyond, jaye, you open your mouth to say, oh, the Super Bowl is not supposed to be something that will make me think. I didn't go to the Super Bowl to think. I went to the Super Bowl to dance. The Super Bowl halftime show is supposed to be about dancing. Why do I feel like I'm being made to write a school paper? Baby, have you ever been in the four walls of a school? And if you have, I have a lot of questions for both your parents and your teachers. Because what happened to trying to give you some critical thinking skills? Are busy that you just refuse to think? You guys are surprised when this same person came on this same internet to talk about Chloe Bailey and how she was acting a sex scene and it was wrong. Talking about she doesn't know where she's going with her brand. But then in the same breath, praise the man that she was in that with for a movie with 2 adults. A lot of you found out that she didn't have sense in December after that entire discourse, but some of us have known. This is not new. Don't pay attention to her. She is part of the distraction. Pay attention to what the event is trying to tell you. I know she's making a lot of Africans look bad, but we don't know her, okay?
Madam Joyce and her opinion about Kendrick Lamar's Superbowl performance is exactly the direct byproduct of people turning woke into an insult. Because by turning woke, which by the way means having a knowledge about political and social issues and how they apply in everyday situations, that's basically what it is. By turning it into an insult, that is how you get that type of take. That is exactly it, because you're seeing the cool kids starting to reject political and social awareness. The choosing generation. And the worst part is that woman literally makes a living by giving analysis. Like, she's in front of a podcast at the microphone talking from morning till night. And she says she went to the Super Bowl performance. She don't want to think. Yet she came to stand in front of microphone and tell us what she think. That is that she did not want to think. It is going to be an interesting couple of years.
Kendrick literally said in his performance, "The revolution about to be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy." And here is Madam Joyce basically saying, "Oh my goodness, who gives a fuck about no revolution? I just want to sing and dance. I don't give a damn about all of them issues going on in the world. Just sing for me and entertain me. I don't care about none of that." Like, do you know how crazy that is? I don't want to think. What kind of a person have a problem with thinking? Like, I've been playing this clip now for 2 days straight, watching it back to back. And the more I listen to it, the more insane it gets. It's people like Madam Joyce that the reason why this unification we have been trying to unify since amongst our people globally has not been working. Because they keep coming out here making these ignorant, useless, uneducated takes and causing problems. And the annoying part is that some of them be doing it very deliberately for clout, for likes. So annoying.
Fake deepness. I come to watch the Super Bowl to watch a performance. I didn't come to think.
And that right there is your problem. You didn't think at all. Once again, a black British person opens their mouth and shows again how uneducated they are. Why do y'all feel the need to talk on Black American and American history when you don't know shit? And you know what? You don't have to know, but stop speaking on it. This is American sport that has so much rooted in history. Black history is American history. So, of course, in times that are like this, where they're getting rid of DEI and all that stuff, he's showing symbolism. It's like, it doesn't make sense. If I don't understand anything, why am I speaking on it? You see how that doesn't make sense? And then when you said this BS,
As Samuel Jackson come on as Uncle Tom.
Uncle Tom? Do you even know what Uncle Tom is? In correction, it was Uncle Sam. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't even know the words that you're saying at this point. If you can't be entertained and use your critical thinking at the same time, I don't know what to tell you. It's crazy how I just saw a think piece of a white Irish woman breaking down the symbolism. She's not even American. I felt unity in that. I felt empowered in watching that performance. And you're gonna sit your ass in there and say that. For you to sit there and say fake deepness shows how much ignorance and privilege you sit on. If you don't get it, cool, get this. When Kendrick says they not like us, y'all included in that.
For real, because how does an Irish white woman in Ireland get it, but you, a black woman, don't get it? There's even a video of this white guy presently going viral for how passionate he was vibing to Kendrick's "They're Not Like Us."
They not like us. No. They not like us. No. They not like us.
From what I could gather on him, he's an activist and he's someone who actually does the work. He actually made a video about the situation, and this was what he has to say about Kendrick and his performance at the Super Bowl.
Someone recently reposted the video of me dancing to Kendrick, so I want to share it with y'all because it's a really funny video. But I also just want to draw attention to the hard work and organizing that is going on across the country. There's not going to be somebody coming with some magical solution for us. We have to build local power, resist Donald Trump, try and fight for our values, and make a difference. So I went viral for dancing to Kendrick Lamar, and I'm urging you to hear the message of the Super Bowl halftime show and recognize your community power and try and advocate for yourselves and build like whatever you can to resist against this oligarchy that is forming. Any organizing you do, any activism you do, any community aid you do is meaningful.
He got the message. He is white and he bloody got the message. He saw how vital that performance is. But you, a black woman, couldn't. You did not see any value in it. As a matter of fact, you were offended by the performance. You called it mediocre. You quite literally can't make this ish up. And if you wanted to see the whole of the clip of him singing and dancing to They Not Like Us, I'm sorry, I could not put all of it in this video because of copyright. But I'm going to link it down below in the description for those who might want to see the whole of the clip as posted on TikTok.
She came on and she basically said that she didn't really enjoy the Kendrick Lamar halftime show at last weekend's Super Bowl. Obviously, that's her opinion and she's entitled to it. And because Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show did have a lot of perceived racial and social and political messages in there, a lot of the people responding to Madam Joyce aren't quite happy. Also, it's very funny that a lot of Americans are like, oh, black Brits just don't understand. I will tell you this for free. Madam Joyce does not speak for all of us black Brits. If you literally just read my name, my whole page is about American sports, American culture, all that type of thing. It's something that I'm deeply passionate about. I've researched, studied, blah, 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 blah. You could look at the Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl halftime show in two different ways, from an educational aspect and an entertainment aspect. All Madam Joyce has done is she's looked at it from an entertainment aspect. And when it comes to an entertainment aspect, she just didn't find it very interesting. She also goes on to say that it's not everyday think. And while I do disagree with that part, again, she's entitled to her opinion. But I think what Madam Joyce has done ultimately with her response, and that a lot of people have done as well by responding negatively to the Super Bowl halftime show, is they basically proved Kendrick's point right. Samuel L. Jackson, who was playing the part as Uncle Sam, stated in the Super Bowl halftime show that Kendrick was too reckless, too loud, and too ghetto, which is often a prevalent stereotype of hip-hop music, African-American culture, but also black people as a whole. And the way that I see this is Kendrick is trying to tell us that when we entertain these people, it's all good, but when we try to educate these people, they're not having any of it. And so while I can kind of understand where Madam Joyce is coming from when she's saying this stuff on her show, I think ultimately her and other people that didn't really like the Super Bowl halftime show might have just not got the message. And at the end of the day, it has brought up a very interesting conversation about how African-American and black British culture might align, because at the end of the day, we're all the same colour. I'm not going to go too in depth about it because I've already done a video trying to break down the Super Bowl halftime show. If you do want to watch that, please do. You can just click the playlist down below. I've already added it into the playlist for this video as well. But to any Americans that watch this video and went, oh, these black Brits, trust me, she doesn't speak for us all.
We exist in such a dire time at the moment. Well, when has it not been dire? But like, you know, speaking about now, it's a very dire climate that we exist in, right? So we don't have time to be going for entertainment only. So many other very important things are happening and we do need to be involved. And yes, I do get that entertainment is important, right? Nobody can dispute that. Nobody would ever dispute that. We need that balance in our life. So yes, entertainment is important as well, but that doesn't mean that we should put entertainment over other more important issues in our environment, issues that affect each and every single freaking one of us, right? And that's why people are pissed by the stake of hers. And she's still getting dragged, by the way, as she should, because we should not be letting takes like this gain roots, because the more people we have thinking like this, the less positive changes we are going to be seeing in our environment. So yes, we should be nipping them at the bud as we are right now. Every single time they try to, you know, sprout out, nip it, right? So on that note, guys, I've come to the end of the video. Let me know down below in the comment section what your thoughts are. Thank you very much for watching. And of course, as always, I'll be catching you in the next one. Bye.
I feel like the problem with Madam Joyce is she had a major case of FOMO. And what I mean by that is when you're a content creator or when you're somebody who has a podcast, you're constantly wanting to talk about the hot topics because that's what gets the views. Even if it's temporary, right? You always have to kind of be on top of those hot topics. What other topic was hotter this last week than the Super Bowl? We all knew that that was going to be a hot topic. So she wanted to be a part of that conversation, but didn't bother to do any research behind, first of all, who Kendrick Lamar even is as an artist. Because if you are a Kendrick fan, okay, you know that this is exactly what we were expecting from Kendrick, period. Like, number one, that can't even be debated. So you're not a Kendrick fan. But also on top of it, like literally the political climate that we're in right now. Like, girl, read the room. Like,